This single bodyweight exercise deeply targets the glute muscles. And if you've made it this far, you've probably already noticed that something has changed in your body in recent years, even if you can't name exactly what. The largest muscle in the human body is weakening in you right now, and chances are you don't even realize it. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity revealed that adults with greater glute muscle strength have lower mortality risk and maintain independence much longer. And it's no wonder. Strong glutes mean more stability, lower risk of falls, less knee and hip pain, and they also amplify the epoch effect, making your body continue burning calories for hours after training, even while sitting on the couch. The problem is that most men simply ignore this area because they think training glutes is a woman's thing, and because of this nonsense, they pay a high price as they age. That's why today you'll see a single bodyweight exercise that deeply targets the glute muscles, and as a bonus, other movements to further strengthen this area so important for your body as you age. Before we begin, please leave your name and the city you're watching our content from in the comments. We'd love to know. Exercise number 1, frog pump. The frog pump is one of those exercises that seem too simple to work, but hide impressive biomechanical efficiency. Think of it as the smarter brother of the hip thrust. Less glamour, less weight, but with surgical precision on the gluteus maximus that few movements can achieve. It's especially valuable for those over 50, precisely because of the rare combination it offers. High muscle activation with minimal impact on the joints. The frog pump works primarily the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the human body, with significant involvement of the hamstrings and hip stabilizers. And here's information that surprises many people. The gluteus maximus isn't just a matter of aesthetics. It's the main driver of hip extension, stabilizes the pelvis with every step you take, protects the lower back from overload, and being the largest muscle in the body plays a huge role in the epoch effect, that phenomenon where metabolism remains elevated for hours after training, even when you're already resting. Keeping this muscle strong after 50 isn't vanity, it's necessity. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research by Brett Contreras and collaborators in 2020 demonstrated that the frog pump generates electromyographic activation of the gluteus maximus comparable to the traditional hip thrust, but with significantly less stress on the knees and hip. This makes it especially valuable for those dealing with some degree of joint wear, which is quite common in this age group. To execute it, lie on your back on a mat, bring the soles of your feet together, open your knees outward like a frog resting in the sun, and push your hips upward, firmly contracting the glutes at the top. Hold this contraction for at least 2 seconds before descending. If you need a mental command to ensure correct activation, think about squeezing the glutes as if you were trying to hold something between them. It seems silly, but it really works. A bonus tip: position your hands over the glutes while performing the movement. This creates immediate tactile feedback and confirms that the contraction is happening exactly where it needs to be and not in the lower back. The main errors to avoid are not completely bringing the soles of the feet together, which alters muscle recruitment, using lower back momentum instead of consciously contracting the glute, and not maintaining the contraction at the top of the movement. These 3 errors eliminate exactly what makes the exercise so efficient: time under tension. A set of frog pumps done hastily and without conscious contraction is simply a purposeless hip movement. Do 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. The main contraindication is for those who feel intense pain in the hip or groin during the movement, with medical evaluation recommended before including the exercise in the routine. The frog pump will already make a real difference in the strength and volume of your gluteus maximus. But if you want to go beyond, building more resistance, more stability, and more joint protection in this important region, the following exercises are the perfect complement. They will help you have even more strength and volume in this crucial area of the body as you age, so don't neglect them. Exercise number 2, fire hydrant. The fire hydrant may seem simple at first glance, but plays a fundamental role in hip health, especially for those over 50. The name comes from the position the exercise provokes. Anyone doing it for the first time inevitably remembers those classic scenes of dogs marking territory on street hydrants. The visual is funny, but the result couldn't be more serious. It directly targets the gluteus medius, muscle located on the side of the hip and responsible for stabilizing the pelvis with every step you take. Research in the area of rehabilitation and functional movement consistently shows that strengthening hip stabilizers significantly reduces overload on the knees and lower back, regions that are usually the first to suffer when the gluteus medius is neglected. And this neglect is more common than it seems. Most popular workouts work the gluteus maximus with squats and hip elevations, but simply ignore the gluteus medius, creating a muscular imbalance that takes its toll slowly but with interest. To execute it, position yourself on all fours with hands directly below shoulders and knees below hips, maintaining the spine in neutral position and core lightly activated. From there, lift one knee to the side like a hinge at the hip, keeping keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees and rising only to where the hips can remain level and facing the ground. Pause briefly at the top and descend with control, without letting the knee hit the ground before the next repetition. The most common errors are lifting the knee beyond what stability allows, rotating the trunk to the side, trying to compensate for range of motion, and letting the hip rise along with the leg. All of these transfer effort away from the gluteus medius and transform the exercise into a mere compensation movement without the desired effect. A useful tip: place a hand on the upper hip while executing. Any rotation you feel is a sign that you've exceeded the real limit of movement amplitude and need to reduce the elevation height. Do 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per side. People with acute pain in the hip or knee should seek professional evaluation before starting. Exercise number 3, step up. The step up is, without exaggeration, one of the most complete and underestimated exercises for those who want to strengthen glutes after 50. And the reason is simple. It combines intense muscle strengthening with real functionality, directly simulating the act of climbing stairs, a movement we perform daily and that, over time, begins to require increasingly more effort when glutes are weak. A study published in the Journal of Human Kinetics in 2016 showed that unilateral step-up activates the gluteus maximus at levels above 60% of maximum voluntary contraction, placing it among the most efficient exercises for this muscle without excessive impact on joints. By working one leg at a time, it also identifies and corrects lateral muscular imbalances, very common after 50, improving proprioception and confidence in daily movements, something with enormous value in fall prevention. As a bonus, by requiring the body to repeatedly elevate its entire weight, the step-up also provokes a moderate cardiovascular response, making it doubly efficient for those who want to work strength and heart health at the same time. To execute it, position a firm step or bench of at least 12 inches in front of you. Step up with one foot, press the heel on the surface, and elevate the entire body using glute strength. The lower leg should only accompany the movement, never generate the impulse. Descend slowly, taking 2 to 3 seconds back to the ground. This controlled descent phase, the eccentric phase of the movement, is responsible for a significant part of the hypertrophy stimulus and shouldn't be wasted with haste. The errors to avoid are using impulse from the lower leg on the ascent, projecting the knee too far beyond the foot on the ascent, and not controlling the descent, letting the body fall back to the ground. Do 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per leg. People with severe instability in the knee or ankle should seek gradual progression with professional accompaniment before increasing step height. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress healthily long-term in the world of exercise. Exercise number 4, glute bridge. The glute bridge is an absolutely indispensable classic for anyone over 50 who wants to maintain strength, stability, and movement independence throughout the years. It works mainly the gluteus maximus and hamstrings, with an important bonus that many ignore. By requiring the body to maintain pelvic alignment throughout the entire movement, it significantly recruits the core, including the deep abdomen, obliques, and spine stabilizers. This makes it an integrated strength exercise, not just isolated glute work. In practical terms, this means that each set of glute bridges done correctly is also protecting your lower back, which is a huge bonus for those over 50 who already feel that chronic discomfort in the region. You'll know you're doing it correctly when you feel the contraction happening primarily in the glute region and not in the lower back. If the lower back compresses or hurts at the top of the movement, it's a sign that execution needs adjustment. To perform it, lie on your back with knees bent and feet supported on the ground at hip width. Press heels into the ground, contract the abdomen slightly, and push hips upward until your body forms a straight line from knee to shoulder. Contract glutes firmly at the top for 2 seconds before descending in a controlled manner, without letting hips completely touch the ground between repetitions. Maintaining this constant muscle tension is what transforms a common set into a truly efficient one. To increase intensity without needing equipment, simply elevate feet on a chair or firm step, which deepens movement amplitude and considerably amplifies glute contraction. The most common errors are hyperextending the lower back at the top of the movement, as if going beyond natural alignment, letting knees open to the sides during elevation, and dropping hips to the ground between repetitions, wasting the time under tension that makes all the difference. Do 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions with isometric contraction of 2 seconds at the top. People with active lower back pain or shoulder shoulder problems should adapt support or seek professional guidance before performing the exercise. Exercise number 5, Sumo Squat. The Sumo Squat is one of the smartest squat variations for those over 50, and this is due to how it redistributes forces throughout the body. With feet positioned wider than shoulder width and toes pointing between 45 and 60 degrees outward, the muscle recruitment pattern changes completely compared to conventional squatting. A review published in the Journal of Human Kinetics demonstrated that the more open sumo posture expressively increases activation of the gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and thigh adductors, muscles that are rarely worked together with such efficiency in a single movement. In addition to distributing weight more evenly through the hip and considerably reducing pressure on the knees, this bonus of hitting multiple muscle groups simultaneously makes the sumo an extremely high return exercise for those who want results with less training volume. Beyond strengthening, it actively improves hip mobility, which tends to progressively decline with age and is essential for daily activities like sitting, standing, and picking something up from the ground without pain. Can you imagine the impact of this on your quality of life over the coming years? To execute it, position feet well apart, point knees in the same direction as toes, keep chest up and spine neutral, and descend in a controlled manner in 2 to 3 seconds until thighs are parallel to the ground. At the top, before starting the next repetition, actively contract the glutes. The errors to avoid are the knee collapsing inward, excessive trunk inclination forward, and not descending enough to activate the gluteus maximus. Half squatting may be easier, but it's also half the exercise. Do 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. People with advanced osteoarthritis in the knee or hip should consult a professional before including this exercise in their routine. Exercise number 6, side plank with leg elevation. The side plank with leg elevation is the most complete exercise on this list because it doesn't just work one part of the glute. It trains the entire body to remain strong, stable, and coordinated simultaneously, something that becomes increasingly important after 50. It intensely activates the gluteus medius, responsible for external hip support, while challenging balance and stability globally, also recruiting the spinal erectors, deep core, and stabilizers of the supporting shoulder. The result is an exercise that strengthens the glute while teaching the entire body to work as a unit, which is exactly what allows you to move with confidence and safety in daily life. Studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy associate improvement in hip strength and stability with significant reduction in fall risk in older adults, which places this exercise in a special category. It not only improves hip strength and volume, but can literally protect your independence throughout the years. The beauty of this exercise lies exactly in this intentional slowness. Each repetition done with control and intention is worth more than 5 done hastily and with compensation. To execute it, lie on your side with elbow directly below shoulder, stack legs, or for more stability, place the upper foot slightly forward. If necessary, bend the lower knee for support. Press forearm into the ground, elevate hips forming a straight line from shoulders to ankles, and then lift the upper leg between 30 and 45 degrees. Keep the body completely stable, hold for 2 to 3 seconds at the top, and descend with control. The most common errors are rushing, letting hips drop or rotate backward, and losing trunk alignment. All of these take effort away from where it should be, and transform the exercise into an uncomfortable position without real results. Do 3 sets of 5 to 8 slow repetitions per side. There are no specific contraindications beyond acute pain in shoulder or hip, situations where support should be adapted or guidance sought before continuing. Exercise number 7, clamshell. The clamshell is an exercise that seems small but carries enormous biomechanical importance, especially for those over 50. It works the gluteus medius, deep muscle on the side of the hip that most people simply ignore throughout their entire lives. And this is an error that takes a high toll over time. When the gluteus medius is weak, the pelvis misaligns, the lower back is overloaded, and knees become vulnerable to progressive wear. Problems extremely prevalent in this age group. Strengthening this muscle is, in practice, one of the most effective ways to preventively protect the entire musculoskeletal system of the lower limb without needing a single piece of equipment. To execute it, lie on your side with hips flexed at approximately 45 degrees and knees bent, keeping feet aligned. Without rotating the pelvis backward, open the upper knee like a shell opening, only to where the glute does the work without trunk compensation. Hold 1 second at the top and descend with control. An important tip, place a hand on the upper hip to monitor any pelvic rotation. As soon as you feel the hip beginning to rotate, you've reached the real limit of movement amplitude for your current mobility level, and that's where you should stop. Forcing beyond this is giving up precision in exchange for an illusion of progress. When repetitions without resistance become easy, an elastic band position just above the knees significantly increases intensity and is highly recommended as natural progression. The most common errors are letting the hip rotate backward during opening, not keeping feet aligned, and doing repetitions too quickly without feeling the contraction on the side of the hip. Do 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions per side. There are no relevant contraindications for this exercise. On the contrary, the clamshell is frequently used in knee and hip rehabilitation protocols precisely because of its safety and the precision with which it strengthens such a neglected region. And if beyond the glutes you want to ensure that the other muscles of your lower body remain strong to guarantee your independence as you age, and of course, without leaving home, we have a video appearing right now on the screen showing the best isometric exercises for this. Don't miss checking it out. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.